at the Palms Resort and Casino with Chris Voss, and we're going to chat with him today about Foursquare and Twitter. And so, hey Chris.
Hi, how's it going? I'm Chris Voss.
Chris Voss from thechrisvossshow.com, at Chris Voss on Twitter. So Chris, I want to talk to you about today. I was watching your video blog, and specifically on Foursquare and Twitter, which is what I told you I wanted to talk to you about today. You specifically were talking about Twitter making the mistake of turning down gaming. The idea that, you know, Foursquare has the game aspect, Facebook has the game aspect, and that Twitter has turned down a number of gaming partnerships. Now, personally, when I get Mafia invitations or things like that, I immediately delete those people from Twitter. I hate Farmville with it. In terms of the way I use Twitter specifically, I don't like when people invite me for games. Is it just that maybe people on Twitter are using it differently and they don't want the gaming, or you know, what's your feeling behind that?
The overall gist of Twitter is kind of stayed within a very small bubble of what it wants to do and what the markets are doing outside of it, or what people are using Twitter or are telling Twitter how they want Twitter to be used. And so I think gaming is one of the aspects where Twitter should have embraced gaming. You know, I think there's a way to balance everything. Facebook has certainly found a way to balance, you know, what's going on with the Farmville stuff and the updates. They've certainly found a way to balance, you know, the Mafia things. I think there's a lot of people who really enjoy it. In fact, if you look at the recent iPhone information, if you look at the recent Facebook and stuff, about 50% of the traffic that's being generated those sites, and I don't know where the revenue comes up, but I would imagine 50% of the revenue, since they're advertising sites, are coming from gaming. Gaming is going to transcend not only just from like a platform of PS2 where you're, you know, playing games in a virtual atmosphere. I think more and more we're going to see gaming become like what Foursquare, Gowalla, you know, Yelp, and all these people are doing, where you're actually more interacting with your environment.
What is your feeling? I know you talked about it a little bit, but your feeling about the difference between Gowalla and Foursquare so far?
I think Gowalla at one point, or maybe still is, a second runner-up to Foursquare. I think Yelp.
Why?
Foursquare I just see is more popular. I mean, the only way I can tell that is because of every about 4 or 5 hours, my Foursquare is flooded with friend requests.
Right, and you know what, you said something about that too, and actually, you know, I interviewed someone else recently who I met on Foursquare, and he actually said that he only accepted my friend request because we had something in common. I do not have the time to accept friends, go through and determine who's who, and I just accept everything now.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, just to kind of go off topic, back to something else that I wanted to ask you when you were talking about apps. What do you think about Twitter buying Tweety? What's the message to developers?
Just make a better product. I mean, I like Twitter, I think it is, that I use, the purple egg. I think I like it much better than Tweety too. The one thing you've kind of seen with Twitter is they limit everybody else to do all the work and do all the programming. And to me, even if Twitter or Tweety is the official Twitter app, you know, it's just like the website. I'm actually going to go to TweetDeck or Twitter or some of these other different things that have way more, you know, third-party application development that's gone into it. So we'll see what Twitter does with it. I have a feeling they're just going to leave it pretty much alone and just call it the official Twitter app.
Okay, so for the people that don't follow you on Twitter, why should they follow you?
That's a really good question. The Chris Voss Show, we broadcast a lot of free stuff, information about social media. I've had a pretty large experience, and I like to share a lot of that experience. I think people like the freshness that I bring to the social media game, because really, I'm a business consultant. I teach people about business, and that's really all social media is. It's just an additional business model, like anything else. So, people like the humor too. They like my humor for some reason. They like the inspiration. You know, we try and mix it up with everything. You get free education, you get inspiration, you get some laughs.
I agree. I like the inspiration part. Yeah, I like that you mix that in.
We try, and I try and make it as diverse as possible, so that when you come to me, you're just not getting the stream of, you know, one thing.
Chris, I really appreciate you taking the time to meet with me, and it's an honor.
Well, thank you. It's an honor to meet you, and
thank you.
Take the time to.
Well, let's go meet Nick Taco.
Yeah.
And let's go have a drink.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
So that's Chris Voss, and we're gonna go enjoy Vegas now. And thanks so much for coming to my blog again. Hi. So I'm here now with well, is Taco your real last name? What's your last name?
That's close enough.
Okay, well anyway, Taco.
Taco with a K.
Taco with a K. So Nick Taco, as in @Nick Taco with a K on Twitter. And I picked him up at a meeting with Chris Voss. And then we're now at Parasol Down at the Wynn Hotel and Casino, and it is a gorgeous day. We spent over an hour talking with Chris Voss about social media and Foursquare and whatnot, and just wanted to get Nick's take on a couple of things that we talked about this afternoon, and want to introduce you to Nick. He's not a Foursquare user, so but we're not going to hold it against him, but we're going to just chat with him for a couple of minutes. So here's Nick.
Hello.
Hey Nick. So you're kind of like me. You're out in Vegas seeing family.
Exactly.
Said sister lives in Henderson.
Yes.
How long are you in town for?
Just until tomorrow.
I was describing how Chris and I met on Foursquare, and so I wanted you to describe how you found Chris.
I was a friend of his on Facebook, and then when I knew I was coming out to Las Vegas for a little bit of time, I ended up going onto Facebook, doing a search, putting in Las Vegas, and then looking to see who was either tweeting about or was either using the status with Vegas in it, or looking to see who was here in Las Vegas.
So you basically hadn't really known Chris that well, but you were just interested in reaching out and meeting up with people that you thought were interesting and getting to know some new people via networking.
And he'd also written an article talking about with social media how so many people are in such a rush to get followers and fans and friends, that type of thing, but they don't really do the social aspect of it, which is having your phone number out there so when people are coming into town, they can get in touch with you. And so I just reached out to him to see if he really would meet up with me, and so we just were able to set it up that way.
So did we sell you on Twitter today?
We had a very interesting discussion about Twitter, and I do use it. I've kind of backed off a little bit in the last few months, but I plan on really ramping up again. I'm in the process of kind of rebranding myself, and I'm taking that metamorphosis from a caterpillar to a butterfly from my new friend Perry that I'm just learning this. So there'll be a lot more coming out on Twitter from me here in the near future.
So what was your favorite thing about the chat that we had today?
Sharing an intimate bowl of tortilla chips and salsa,
and you didn't even have a margarita.
I know,
so lame.
I'm guilty
By the way,
as charged.
that's silver. That's not silver.
That's an inside joke. She didn't quite care for my shirt that I was wearing today, so.
No. You said you were wearing a silver shirt. That's so not silver.
Silver gray.
I was expecting when Chris said you were wearing a silver shirt, I was thinking like we were getting some flashy silver thing.
All right, for everybody watching out there, the next time we all get together in Vegas, I will either be wearing a red and black snakeskin shirt,
oh, Lord,
or I'll find some completely bedazzled shirt. We're gonna bring back the bedazzler.
Thank you so much. I know you were a little camera shy, so thank you for agreeing to be videotaped. We really appreciate Nick taking time to be videoed, and we're gonna have a cocktail, and we'll see you in Vegas.
Or on Twitter.
Woo!
Or on Foursquare.
Or on
Facebook.
Facebook or somewhere.
Not MySpace.
Okay. Ciao.